Widal test is used for diagnosing enteric fever by detecting antibodies against Salmonella typhi, Salmonella typhi A, B and C. It uses the principle of agglutination reaction. In this particular tutorial, we'll be doing the slide method of Widal test. In this particular test, we'll be using 4 antigens: O antigen, H antigen, AH antigen and BH antigen. Firstly, retrieve the test card from the kit box and label each circle O, H, AH and BH. These 4 antigens will be used only for one sample. So for each and every sample, you will run 4 antigens for each and every sample. For sample number 1, you will add 1 drop of the patient's sample or patient serum in each circle labeled O, H, AH and BH. Take 1 drop from the reagent labeled O and add into the circle labeled O. Take the reagent labeled H, take 1 drop and add into the circle labeled H. Next, take the reagent bottle labeled AH, take 1 drop and add into the circle labeled AH. Next, take the reagent bottle labeled BH and add into the circle labeled BH. Stir these reagents gently and thoroughly with the help of a plastic stirrer and rotate it manually or with the help of a rotator for at least 5 minutes. If the test is positive for O antigen, visible agglutination will be seen in the form of clumping and clearing of the background. If the test is positive for H antigen, visible clumping will be seen with a clear background at the circle labeled H. If the test is positive for either AH or BH, visible clumping will be seen with a clear background in the area or circle labeled AH or BH. An important note, clumping may be seen in either one of the circle or in all of the circles. Report should be given as such. If clumping or agglutination is seen, we should go ahead with titration. If clumping is seen only in the O antigen, then titration is done using only the O antigen. If clumping is seen only in the H antigen, then titration is done using only the H antigen. If clumping is seen only in the AH antigen, then titration is done using only the AH antigen. If clumping is seen only in the BH antigen, then titration is done using only the BH antigen. If clumping is seen in one or more antigens, then titration should be done using one or more antigens based on which one of the antigens showed clumping. For titration, we will be using the slide method. Take a new test card and for each circle label 1:20, 1:40, 1:80, 1:160, 1:320. If, for example, only O antigen showed clumping in the previous test, then we will do titration only for the O antigen. Take 80 microliter of the patient's test serum and add in the circle labeled 1:20. Take 40 microliter of the patient test serum and add into circle labeled 1:40. Take 20 liter of the patient's serum and add into the circle labeled 1:80. Take 10 microliter of the patient's test serum and add into the circle labeled 1:160. Take 5 microliter of the patient's test serum and add into the circle labeled 1:320. Taking the O antigen, which showed clumping in the previous test, add 1 drop each to the circle. 1 drop to the circle labeled 1:20, 1 drop to the circle labeled 1:40, 1 drop to the circle labeled 1:80, and so on. Mix well and gently with the help of a plastic stirrer and rotate manually or with the help of a rotator for 5 minutes. Results should be read within 5 minutes. A positive titer is denoted by clumping. The highest titer will be taken where clumping is seen last. For example, if titer is seen at 1:20, 1:40 circle and 1:80 circle, then the highest titer will be taken as 1:80. Or another example, if the titer is seen at 1:20 only and the rest do not show any clumping, then highest titer will be taken as 1:20. This is for O antigen. The same method can be used for H antigen, AH antigen, and BH antigen.